Hi there, good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Today I wanted to share a couple tools that are very important to me that I use for game development. If we haven't met before, my name is Jerrel. I run Sungrand Studios. That's my game development studio that I run myself. I make commercial games for Nintendo consoles, and soon I'll be launching on Atari VCS and on Steam. I've got a number of commercial games in the works, but also I create regular homebrew games. I launch those for free either on PC, but lately I've been focusing on creating homebrew games for legacy consoles because it's just so cool being able to make games for all of our favorite old consoles. So I want to thank everyone who's been contributing to Patreon and making donations so I can spend more time working on the homebrew games, because honestly, it's kind of way cooler making games for older consoles. You know, you don't really make money through those legacy homebrew things. So that's why it really helps when people donate and I can spend time creating those games. And I don't want to make just small tech demos. I want to make more robust full games. So the first tool I want to share with you is a Wacom drawing tablet. This is an Intuos 4, and no, I didn't just read that off the back because I forgot the model number. That's not what happened. Now, there are quite a few different models, and they do different things in terms of the buttons and the layout. But the reason why I like the Intuos 4 is because of the control wheel here. This is so useful when you need to control things like your brush size, or you can rotate the canvas. I use this for 3D sculpting. So often on my streams, and I'm creating more just standalone videos that are like 10-15 minutes showing sculpting, I do not sculpt without this. I always use this. I have a couple different tablets. Often on my streams and videos, you'll see me use my Cintiq, which is a larger machine, and that has the screen built onto it. I use that for sculpting, but I also use this for sculpting. There's pressure sensitivity. If you are doing digital painting and art, there's tilt sensitivity as well. This is absolutely vital as a game developer. So when I'm doing hand-drawn textures, depending on the game, if I'm doing, 3D models with hand-drawn textures, I always use this. Some games I just use 2D art, and I generally draw it with this unless it's pixel art, where I draw pixel by pixel, which I haven't done in such a long time. But this is great. You can adjust the tips. These tips are removable, so you can have them as sort of this softer cloth tip that has more friction, so you can have more control, or you can have a plastic smooth tip. So this has been absolutely vital. I use this a significant amount, a huge amount. Next, the next tool that I use has basically saved my, I don't want to, exaggerate. It's basically saved my life. And this is a trackball. This is a Kensington trackball. You have your wheel here for scrolling. It does not have a middle click, which is a little bit irritating when you need to navigate, but most programs will have some shortcuts on the keyboard that will allow you to serve the function of the middle click. Sometimes I do have to use a normal mouse. Now, the reason why this has been so important to me is when I was creating the very final games for the 3DS and Wii U before the eShops were closing, I was working 120 hours a week for basically a whole year, and it was so brutal. It destroyed my shoulder and my elbow. Basically, they were in constant pain because I was working, and it wasn't a leisurely pace that I was working. It was just brutal, grueling pace, and it destroyed my joints. It was extremely painful even when I wasn't working. I would use a heat pack to try and alleviate the pain, and I wasn't getting much sleep, and I'd go straight back to work, and it was working fast, working hard, and I destroyed my joints. So I had to stop for a couple months, and I could not use a standard mouse anymore. I was sitting at different desks. I had different desks set up. I had, so I tried to alleviate the repeated stress injury. But the only thing that really made a difference was this. So far, I have not had a repeated injury since I've been using this. I've been using this for maybe around a year and a half or so, and I don't work without it. I always use this. And that's because I can move it around. If it's sitting up on the desk, and then once in a while I'll just move it, I'll set it on my knee, and I can sit it there. And if I start feeling a little uncomfortable, I can move it around. So I can set that on my knee, set that on the table. And if I'm feeling like, I'm not trying to make it seem like I'm like making a move or anything, but if I'm sitting on the couch, I'll move around a lot. I have a work couch, a couple different work desks. I can sit on a work couch and I work with a laptop, and sometimes I'll just sort of put my arm, like that, and I'll just sort of sit, making a move, stretch. But I can change positions all throughout the day so that I'm not stuck sitting in one position. And because of that, I no longer have injured my shoulder and my elbow. So this has been a lifesaver. Otherwise, that would have been the end of my career. And I'm not exaggerating. After I had damaged my shoulder and elbow, I actually switched. So I taught myself to use the mouse with my left hand. I'm a right-handed person, and so I taught myself to use the mouse left-handed, and then I destroyed my left shoulder and my left elbow because I was working such brutal hours at such a demanding pace. So this has been great. I haven't tried using like one in either hand. It would make me look like a really cool hacker if I had two and I was like doing two like that. But you would need fingerless gloves if you were going to be a hacker like that. So those are two tools that I wanted to share with you that have been so important to me as a game developer. Is that Trackball. There's other brands as well, but I find this one has been very good value for money. It's been so durable. And a Wacom tablet. There's so many different models out there. I haven't tried using the newer models, so I couldn't make recommendations on the newest stuff. This one's a much older model. When you need to clean this, it's so easy to clean that you can sort of push out from the bottom there. Give that a wipe down with a napkin. And this has the problem of like the mice from like the 90s and early 2000s. They get kind of lint. They collect lint on the rollers in there. You just give that a wipe. Give that a wipe. Clean it out. Becomes responsive again. So I hope that's been useful to you. Good luck to you on your game development journey. It's always great hearing from you guys. Let me know how you are doing. If there's any topics that you would like to cover, if there's any questions you would like to ask, please feel free to put them in the comments section below. Take care, everyone. Great to hear from you. Okay, I'll see you around.